I'll try to sit down normal. There we go. So we'll just go straight into it.
Okay.
Okay. So today we're here with Dave from
Warwickshire Gin Company.
Cool, and I'm Luke from Example Marketing. What we're going to do is find out a little bit more how marketing over the past 6 months has affected the company, where it's come from, and how you see it going. So, first of all, Dave, explain who you are and how you got into the Warwickshire Gin Company.
Yeah, I'm Dave. I set up the Warwickshire Gin Company in October 2018. I sold a business in the January of that year, and like gin, obviously, and I thought there was a gap in the market locally. There isn't a Leamington gin or a Warwick gin specifically, and I thought that was an opportunity to do some branded things. I love all the local history locally. Lived here for about 30 years, and there's a story about elephants used to live in Leamington, which isn't very well known even by some people that live in Leamington. So, and they were from Sri Lanka, and I thought, we could do a spiced gin and put the elephants on a bottle. They look really cute. Problem with that business plan is I didn't know how to make gin at that time, so I kind of just left that in the back of my head, and then bumped into a guy in Wales, literally, who'd got a still, looks a lot like ours, and we got talking and said, we developed some flavour profiles with me. So I got going with this guy Alex. We made 3 gins. We're only supposed to make 2. One was an accident, but it's a good one because it's quite a nice flavour profile. And then he made the first few batches for us. We outgrew him, and then we got the keys for this place in time for a pandemic. So
what was the first 2 gins then?
So that was our Leamington on Parade gin. That's that one, yeah. And then the Kingmaker, which is 16th Earl of Warwick. He owned Warwick Castle, so that was like the Kingmaker is his nickname. After the defeat of the Plantagenets in the War of the Roses. So
from 2 gins to 6 gins.
So we had 3 gins when we got the keys for the distillery, and then when we sort of cut our ties with Alex, not through anything malicious, we just outgrew him, and then started making our own gin here in Leamington, and then we developed 2 more gins, Apolotta, Peeping Tom, and then we made a rum, that's really a great seller. And then last year in May we decided to we launched the vodka. We weren't going to do vodka, it's relatively easy to do, but we thought people aren't buying Russian stuff, so we'd give it a go. When
you made the products and all the spirits,
yeah,
where did the tasting experience come from?
Yeah, the tastings were always in the business plan and gin school ultimately as well. To have an experience-led distillery. Obviously COVID messed all that up because we couldn't speak to anybody, give a sample out, let alone have anybody in the same room. So we kind of had to put that on the back burner. The gin tasting experience we launched October 21. And they went okay. People were quite excited to get out of the house again, and then Omicron hit obviously in the December pretty heavily, and it was a bit of a damp squib then. And I think people forget that kind of carried on till about May time really. People were still anxious about going out, which is fair enough.
You know, with the tasting experience back then, what on average was like you getting through the door with the experience then compared to
so I think on average each month was about 50 people. So yeah, I mean now January and February we've just hit 150 per month for the last 2 months, and we've already got a significant amount of bookings for March. So we're in the 1st of March now. March is heavily booked, and we've already got the same amount of bookings for April that we completed last April.
From when we started working together on kind of the whole marketing aspect of things, how has it kind of developed and grown in your eyes from 6 months ago to now?
I think we've got way more visibility and more clarity on what we're trying to do. when we're on social media and that kind of thing. And obviously being more sort of data driven is quite interesting and important. So you know what works, what doesn't work.
You've become a lot more
bounce rates, analytical. Yeah.
How do you see kind of how the traffic's grown? Do you think that people now see you and say, "Oh, I've seen you online"? Do you get more of that compared to 6 months ago?
Yeah, we do. And then kind of some of those things are self-fulfilling. It kind of snowballs a bit. So, you know, it's not just the paid ads on Instagram. It's a little bit more networking, LinkedIn. We get some really good reviews on TripAdvisor. And all these kind of things co-support each other. So you kind of have to do all of it.
How's your, you mentioned LinkedIn there. When we first spoke about LinkedIn, you kind of scoffed at me 6 months ago about LinkedIn.
Yeah, I do find it a little bit frustrating because people constantly messaging you trying to sell you something. And all I'm trying to do is increase our brand awareness, not necessarily sell directly to them, but just make them more aware about the Warwickshire Gin Company.
Do you feel like your knowledge has grown since I saw you first 6 months ago on LinkedIn and socials yourself? Like, do you believe that yours has grown and how to do that?
Yeah, still not a fan of LinkedIn, but I'll do it.
Why though? Why is the reason you're on it?
Again, you're hitting the right people. You're hitting decision makers. You're gaining visibility to purchasers of spirits, essentially. So
worth being on.
that's when you can target specifically by hotel, F&B manager, whatever it might be. So yeah, all those kind of things. And we do some of the posts we do get some quite good engagement on those. So yeah, it is good.
Do you remember ages ago you said how you did the paid advertising yourself?
Yeah.
To like him and wanted to help you more with that. Do you see the paid advertising has affected the company compared to when you did it yourself, when I kind of came on and tried to help you?
Yeah, I think obviously I'm limited in my social media knowledge and thought if I just threw some mud at the wall it would kind of stick a little bit, which it did. You know, there were definite spikes when we did paid advertising, but you expect that. But it wasn't paying for itself, so it wasn't money well spent. So just being a bit more targeted and more considered, which is what you do, I'm assuming, then it's just spending your money wiser.
And do you feel like the website, now we've started working on that as well, is really getting the fruitful things there?
Yeah, I think the flow on the Gin Tasting Experience webpage has made a big difference to the bookings and conversion rate. So I think conversion rate's gone up about 1%, which doesn't sound a lot, but that's gone up from 2.5% to 3.5%. So that's a 30% increase pretty much. So that's really good. And then the bounce rate, that's dropped. Now I know what a bounce rate is. So now the bounce rate has dropped. That's gone down nearly 10%. It's gone up when we had a different advert, but obviously then you know that's not working, so then you can just drop that ad. So, and that's what I mean by being a bit more considered and spending your money wiser on advertising.
So with the Warwickshire Gin Company and how it is now, where do you see it going in 2023 and onwards with its purpose? We're
going to expand our range of experiences. Like I said, we're going to launch those, concentrate on those and make sure they're being delivered really well, and people are enjoying themselves. So yeah, I think we had just over 900 through the distillery in experiences in 2022. But I think year-to-date bookings, so say if we say the end of April, bearing in mind it's 1st of March now, 3, 4, yeah, we were on like 500 already. So I think the goal's got to be about 2,000, with the additional experiences as well. So That'll be yeah. That's the goal on the experience side. On the actual spirit side, just the experiences naturally build in some brand loyalty and some people championing the business, and there's nothing better than word of mouth. So I think that kind of thing helps itself. Then people buying products for buying gifts and things like that. So
from what me, Kieran, Lewis have all done for the website, advertising, videos, photos, do you feel like it's added a lot of value to the business?
Individually, they kind of wouldn't work. You've got to do everything properly. So if you're going to do, you've got to make sure your website's up to speed. Mine wasn't optimised. It was running really slowly, so we were getting, that's what was affecting the bounce rate. And then the landing page for the experience wasn't ideal. So in particular, obviously, if you're marketing and spending money and then they're just dropping off it, you're just wasting your money on the marketing. So everything kind of all needs to work together. And then from that, you can work out what people want and then adjust your products accordingly. So obviously we're adding more experiences because they're selling really well. And that's obviously what people want to do at the moment. So
from everything that we've done then, would you say you'd recommend it to another business to do?
Yeah, definitely. If you haven't already done it, then do it.
I used to say all the time, we're getting more of a digital age.
Yeah.
Adapting to the times. So it's good to hear that, and it's nice that we've able to do this as a collective and work on every aspect of the business, because you've got a team that works on it at the same time.
Yeah.
We're just there to give you the additional tools to use that. So I appreciate, obviously, everything you said. I think that's kind of rounded off. I guess the last thing would be, from my side of things, why should somebody buy an experience?
Find their new best gin. You've only got to look on the reviews on TripAdvisor. It's a great night out, good value, and yeah, you just get to learn a bit about the local history around here as well, and hopefully we've put Leamington and Warwickshire on the gin map.
Definitely, I think so. Appreciate it. That's fine of it.